Another day of testimony for a key witness in the retrial of Karen Read.
You're talking about Jennifer McCabe, of course. She was with both Karen Read and John O'Keefe in the hours before O'Keefe's death, also there when he was found in the snow. We have team coverage tonight. NBC 10 courtroom insider Sue O'Connell is standing by with her analysis. But let's begin with NBC 10's John Maroney live outside of Norfolk Superior Court. So, John, what happened today?
Glenn, the bulk of Jennifer McCabe's testimony came during cross-examination. The defense is trying to show the jury that she is part of this conspiracy to frame Karen Read.
I think she's passed away.
Jennifer McCabe's 911 call right after John O'Keefe's body was discovered in the snowy front yard of her sister's Canton home. McCabe was with Karen Read, who she says told the first responder,
I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
When she told the first responder, I hit him, how did you react?
I was like startled, kind of like, what are you saying? What are you talking about?
Defense attorney Alan Jackson challenged McCabe's recollection, saying that's not what she told the grand jury.
Not one time, Ms. McCabe, did you utter the phrase, I hit him, as it relates to my client in front of that grand jury on April 26th, 2022, did you? Not once.
I'd have to read through the 227 pages to see.
Read has pleaded not guilty to hitting her boyfriend with her SUV and leaving him to die. Shortly after O'Keefe's body was found, McCabe says she conducted her Google search about hypothermia, how long to die in the cold, at Read's request.
Had you ever attempted to search about hypothermia any time before that moment, that morning?
No.
I did not tell Jen to make a Google search. I certainly didn't tell her to make the one at 227 either.
The defense says Read was framed as part of a conspiracy orchestrated by McCabe's brother-in-law, Brian Albert, who owned the home where O'Keefe's body was found.
This is very similar to what we saw a year ago.
Do you think that she colluded with why is she so inconsistent?
Because she's lying.
Do you think she
That's colluded? It. Thank you.
Now, there's no court tomorrow. Jen McCabe, she will be back on the stand Friday. Well, I've in Dedham, John Maroney, NBC 10 Boston.
Okay, John, thank you. Let's go now to one of the few people inside the courtroom, our Sue O'Connell.
Sue, in the first trial, people would comment that they thought Jennifer McCabe came across a little bit defensive, a little more uptight. This time she seemed a little bit more comfortable, and certainly in the presentation was a little more even. Did you notice that as well?
Oh, absolutely, JC. I mean, whether or not she was coached or not, I mean, you can't look at yourself on the cover of the Herald and have all these terrible things said about you and not take a moment to say, could I do it better the next time so I don't get that sort of a reaction? I know that her emphasis is to make sure she's trying to get justice for John O'Keefe, but at the same time, she did come across softer, more friendly. Even Alan Jackson and Jen McCabe had exchanges where they were nice to each other. There was even a moment where they shared a little bit of a laugh. So remember, we're expecting that the jury doesn't know very much about this case in the same way that we do. So this is the only Jen McCabe that they may know. And as a witness on that front, she was not very combative. She was still very evasive. She was not as, answering questions as directly as I think some might want. But this is a Jen McCabe who is likable, friendly, and less in the mood for a battle with Alan Jackson.
All right, Sue, so if we take that this witness was a little bit different this time around, did it force Alan Jackson, who also did the cross last time, to also act differently?
So here's the challenge, right? Because of the way this trial is being laid out by the prosecution, it's not in this chronological order, and actually she's appearing earlier in the trial, right? The jury doesn't have a lot of the foundational information about who was in the house, who the Nagels are, who the people are who were in the car. So they don't know a lot of things. And because Alan Jackson, as a defense cross, he has to stay in a lane. That's how it's done. He can't just start introducing brand new information and new things. He has to cross-examine the testimony she gave for the prosecution. So that actually allowed him to just narrow in on this information about, did I hit him, or I hit him, and that's where he really flourished. He did lay some groundwork for some future testimony to lay out those landmines, as you know that he does. But because of the way that the chronological order is different from the first trial, he was in a narrow lane, and I think he was successful.
Sue O'Connell, thank you very much. We'll see you at 7.
Remember, NBC 10 Boston is your source for Karen Read's second murder trial. We'll carry court proceedings live every day on our sister station, NECN, and stream it on our YouTube page, and then catch a recap of what happened every weeknight at 7 on Canton Confidential. And on that show, we will answer your questions, just like we did in the first trial. You can send us questions for the experts at canton.confidential@nbcuni.com.